Hey guys, this is Dardamos from Dardamos Dominion. Welcome back to FeatherFall. Today we're going to be doing, starting at turn 5. So my partner, true to form, has taken another 2 provinces. I'm going to put this on fast forward. This should be, this is not enough to really frighten him at all. The big thing that makes it so that he's not frightened by this, we're a little bit afraid of him getting afflictions, but he hasn't gotten any yet. These guys have no defense against poison, so what's going to happen is they're going to get that 5 to 10 points of damage, or 5 to 10 points of poison, and then they're gonna die over 10 turns, and that's just from one application. So this is not at all frightening to him. He's just gonna go through and munch. If you see, like, they got more than 20 points of damage, because if they're getting 2 poison ticks per turn, that means that they've gotten 20 points of damage overall, because it separates the poison they take over 10 turns. So if it's 10 damage, it's 1 per turn, and if it's 20, it'd be 2 per turn. So my Dioni's gonna come in here. These guys are nothing. If we have problems against these guys, as bad as those, I mean, I guess, they're about equivalent. I guess they're equivalent to militia. They do have 2 daggers that are both pierce damage, which is a little bit better than a militia. They've also got 7 protection against 5 protection, so they're a little bit more frightening than a militia. Okay, so what happened there? Why did they start running away? One of the morale checks that you need to take is a 50% of all guys that have died, or 50% of their army has died, and that makes them run away. This has not been 50% of their army. Another one is if they have, I want to say, less than 5 people in their squad, they also run away. But this is a squad right here. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a squad. They're above 5 people. They should not have taken a morale check. There is no reason for these guys to be running away, and yet they are. The reason is because of this fear. Now, it's a fear 8, and the checkoff points for fear are the multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15. Because at every single interval, you get a -1 to your morale check. So let's look at these guys real quick. Now, they have a morale of, wait, really? 6? 8? Yeah, I guess it's normal morale of 8. I'm guessing that guy was injured. Yeah, he's battle wounds. So they need to roll 2d6, and they add 8, and then their opposing roll, the roll they have to beat, is 2d6, where they get to add 10. So already they're at a disadvantage. They need to roll 2 higher than the opposing roll. Not only that, but because he's a fear 8, that multiples of 5, he gets a +1 to the fear check. So they have to actually beat a roll of 3 by 3. And they have to do this every single round. Now, there's more to it than that, I get a feeling, because they, like, that normally should just, the moment that you get in range, it should automatically cause a rout more than half the time. Now, the reason that it has a fear 8 is that it has an AoE of 8. So an AoE of 8 means that it goes to one tile, and then it goes to another tile, another tile, another tile, another tile, and it's all random. It might even overlap. I don't know how the overlap works, but all it does is pretty much tries to get about 8 tiles, and everybody in there, every squad in those 8 tiles needs to make a morale check. I don't know if it causes multiple morale checks. I doubt it. But if there are like 2 squads, it might hit 2 squads at once. So that's pretty much how this Dioni works. Because he has a Nodachi, which only does a single attack per turn. He can't kill more than 1 guy a turn, and even then, if he misses his attack, which he shouldn't, or the other guy gets a lucky roll and we're not able to kill that 1 guy per turn, then we could be he'd only kill, like, he wouldn't even kill 1 a turn. And so we haven't really killed a whole lot of guys. This guy doesn't kill guys. All he does is he just stands there and he doesn't get killed until they run away. Now, if you see this guy has, let me get one that's not so deadified. This guy does 12 damage, and he has an attack skill of 7. Defense skill of 11. So more than likely they're going to hit this guy just because the more guys that you, let me redo that and you can see, yeah, if you see, this guy only killed 3 guys. That whole battle, he only kills 3 guys, and he beats this whole stack of like 20 guys. I'm going to show you how harassed penalty works. Okay, so let's see, and he's getting attacked. Now his defense skill is down by 3 because of harassed. That means that there are 3 different guys hitting him at the same time. Now you can see these guys with the attack animation are the ones that are actually attacking him. And it's only these 2, I think, because there's 2 attacks here and 1 attack here. And so he's getting a -3 to his defense skill. Normally it would be, I want to say 15, more than that. Yeah, it looks like it's about 15. So he's getting his defense skill whittled down. So they're going to hit his protection. Now, they've got 2 attacks of 12, plus it's piercing. So that means my protection goes down to about 20-ish. So it's 12 versus 20, so I get a +8 to my dice. So I'm more than likely going to be able to tank every single one of their damage unless they get a critical hit or they just get lucky. Critical hits happen when your fatigue is high, and my fatigue is kind of high. So more than likely, when he does hit me, which they actually surprisingly haven't, 2 damage is nothing. That more than likely that it was done because of critical hit. And this guy actually can deal 25 points of damage, so he's kind of worrisome. So that's how the Dione works. He doesn't kill anybody. He just sits there and waits for his fear to cause morale checks and for somebody to fail that morale check. And I've had major battles happen before where they cast fear on a guy that has a morale of 15, and you still get a +5 to your roll, but you fail that one roll of 15 and your squad of, 50 to, your 20 to 50 guys is running off the board. So fear can actually be very powerful, but it's a chance, it's a luck. It's pure random luck. Okay, also their morale should have been up if they're in friendly territory, but I don't think independents get that. So let's see my buddy's next let's see Niflheim's next fight. This is not looking good because these guys might just murderize a giant right off the bat. Oh man, and it's 2v1. Oh, nope, their lance hits did not hit, which is a big deal. So he absorbed the lance hit pretty easily, and at this point, oh man, there they did some damage to that guy. And any damage he takes at this point is just going to be incidental, I think. He should survive the rest of this at this point. Yeah, he lost that one dude due to the to him getting isolated, and that's kind of how it works with giants. You need to keep yourself in a solid line at all times, which just it wasn't anything he did. It's just that's how it worked. Okay, so I get my first event, and it's a bad event. I'm getting unrest, and I get extra magic, which is cool, but yeah, it's not what I took turmoil and luck for. This guy, it's funny because this turn he didn't get to. It's the turn that he didn't fight. Now, if you've seen my national overview, you actually get to meet Takashi again. He's in the national overview, if I remember correctly, and I end up keeping him safe for a long time because he's gonna come back here and he's just gonna research. I'm not gonna send him out. I'm not gonna have him fight anymore. It's not worth the risk. With his hit point reduction, when I could be summoning Shikomi with him, I could be researching with him, I could be Oni summoning. He's just better off sitting at home for now. Next turn's battle, we're gonna move into archers and militia. I could be hitting this lion tribe right here, but I'll be honest, I had a bad experience with lion tribe. They took out one of my Dione and Tusting, and I don't know if that was just me being unlucky or if it just was, they're that scary, but I did want to shy away from them. These barbarians are just downright frightening. I did test with them. I remember I actually did testing with this. I didn't want to test the lion tribe because I think I can take them. And the next Dione also can come over this way and start expanding in this direction. This guy, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be probably taking this guy up and over and try to like maybe try to take this bridge. And then that will give me a whole bunch of territory. My buddy, on the other hand, is coming down here, and he's going to go up this way and probably try to take that bridge. And then we'll control all this area over here. And then my next Dione can you know, come down here and maybe get that territory right there. And then maybe the next one, and then maybe like come down here. I don't know. But it relies heavily on what indies we come across. So let's move into turn 6. No, quit without saving. Up, too late. Okay, turn 6. So at this point, Niflheim has decided that 2 provinces a turn wasn't enough, so that we've gone to 4. In addition, I have decided to buy the elephant core, and I did this for one reason. It's because I caught those elephants. I can't remember what game. I think I was just playing an AI fun match with my buddy, but I accidentally ran into some elephants. It wrecked me and it ruined the game. I think it was an AI match, so it didn't matter, but I do really respect those elephants at this point, and I want them deadified a lot. I did get my first level of Conjuration. As I said, I'm going to be heading towards Conjuration 3. So let's look at the Nifl battles real quick. Still this expansion party. This one is probably reaching the end of its days, but against this piles, that the end of its days is not going to be today. So once again, zero losses. Again, his Linamore is coming out. Again, militia, looks like light infantry and archers. These guys are not going to do anything except maybe cause afflictions if they get lucky, which they didn't. Okay, so our Dione has gone in to fight the archers and militia, and this does not look scary. If you see, this is a good example, great example. Okay, so this wolf right here has tied up, where's my little marker? Has tied up these guys, and these 2 guys are now going forward. These guys are dead. They're gone. Now, if this was something huge, like say heavy cavalry or heavy militia or not heavy infantry or barbarians or something like this, this alone makes my chance of expanding just absolutely better, like so much better. So he's gonna come up here and once again, although with the Dione, yeah, see, I'm gonna kill one off the bat. And now, because I think this militia squad is now down to, are those militia in the back? No, they're light infantry. And these are militia. I don't know how these guys are still here. If you see, their morale is down to 4. Oh, it doesn't even show why it's at 4. The reason it's at 4, guys, is because they've lost 50% of their squad, and their squad is less than 5 guys. Those morale debuffs end up start adding up really fast. I can't believe those guys lasted that long. I'll be honest. They should have broken a lot earlier. But it didn't matter. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the Amano Jaku actually did as much damage as the Dione about. Okay, so we I don't know if you guys have caught, but we actually met our first ally, or our first enemy. Now, these are the first time we're going to be seeing his Nifl Giants. This is just a standard priest, and these are his sacreds. Now, if you look, there's a slight, you can see like the cold aura around them, and we're gonna see how that works. This is when I first met my buddy, and he was just demolishing me because of these guys, and I couldn't figure it out. If you look at the guys that are icified, I want to say this guy, he's at fatigue 20, which is, I mean, really big for a guy that only. Every time he attacks, he does 5 fatigue, and he loses some, so he's about fatigue-ish, neutral, kind of ish. I mean, for our sakes, he's 20 turns from fatiguing out at 100. There's no reason he should be at 14 or 20 or 8. He's taking fatigue just by being around these guys. In addition, they regen, so these guys kind of work like my Dione, only a little differently. Instead of trying to make them run away, they freeze them, and then they just chop them dead when they're frozen. I mean, each one of these guys kills 1 guy a turn. Now, if you see, we've taken some serious damage. And as a result, because they have only 3 guys in their squad, his morale was too low, and now he's broken. And so he actually runs away because his squad has less than 5 guys. It's one of the things you need to make sure that you, if you have over 5 guys in your squad, you will not take a morale check unless you have fear. Unless something fears you. Or unless there's a couple other things too. But they're pretty much, unless you're already losing the battle, something like that wouldn't happen if he just had 5 guys in his squad. The way you can get around that is you can make the 3 or 4 guys be bodyguards. But then you're risking your priest by going forward. Okay, so we have met, and did we meet this guy last time? How did he see? I'm on turn. Hold on, let me double check this real quick. Did we actually meet him last turn? Oh my! Okay, I missed this. I'm sorry, guys. So obviously, did we even see him? No, he attacked here and we attacked here. So what we ended up doing is, I told my buddy, get a hold of Ulm if you want to, and my buddy's like, I'm not afraid of them. And I'm like, they've got 2-handed axe things, and he just doesn't care. And so I was like, go for it. You think you got him? Go get him. And so he didn't actually do any diplomacy with the guy, as far as I know. And so this made for a very interesting thing, because the question is, where is this group going to go next? Well, they're not going here. They're definitely not going here. And I have a feeling that, yeah, he had to have come from this one. So he's already had this one. So at this point, this group is either going to attack us, or he's going to lose a turn in expansion, which is a disaster for him. More than likely, his capital is either here or here. My guess is probably here. Maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, he's probably got his capital up here. So we decided not to diplomacy with Ulm, and I'm kind of worried at this point. I listened to my buddy because he's the veteran player, and he says that he can take these guys, but I'll be honest, I'm a little worried. And that worry kind of comes into play here because they do attack us, and we don't attack them. So they fired the first shot. And we're going to see what they have. Now, this is what I normally do. Normally, I like to get nap 3s with everybody. I don't really... What I normally try to do in my diplomacy, I get nap 3s with everybody except for one guy, and then I attack that one guy. And normally it's the last guy that I get a nap... or that won't, like, what's a holdout. And because of that, I can go to my neighbors and said, I tried to get a nap 3 with it, he didn't take it, would you be up for attacking him with me? And even if I have a bad matchup, if it's a bad matchup, I'll get friends, and if it's not a bad matchup, well, I'll just take them out myself, and either way, I come out ahead. And that's how I kind of get my snowball rolling, where I can get bigger earlier. So normally when they drop nap 3, or when I find out who my one guy is, that's when I start researching who these guys are. So let's go over Ulm's troops real quick. Is he in... Wait, what formation is... Because it's like a skirmish formation. Oh, it's basically like a loose formation. I wouldn't use this formation. I think it gives you -1 to morale. Yeah, oh, no. It's hostile dominion, squad morale bonus, so his leader gives a +1. That leader should give +2, I thought. Okay, so he's got a standard leader that does not bless. These guys are not sacred. These guys are not sacred. They are cold resistance, meaning that little cold aura that my buddy has that is like super powerful doesn't work on these guys. They only have 1 attack in their archers. So these guys are kind of moot. I don't see them dealing a whole lot of damage to anybody. But they're good for expansion. These guys are the ones that I'm very worried about. Number 1, they've got a throwing axe that does a sizable amount of damage. 17 damage is nothing to scoff at. So they're already going to attack us without us being able to attack back. The 2 axes both deal 20 damage, which is a lot of damage. It normally is more than the protection that that his giants have, and there's 2 of them. So that brings down your defense skill, and it's going to push through your protection, meaning that because there's like 3 of them in a square, he's more than likely going to deal a lot of damage per square towards the giants and pretty much chop those giants down. This is a giant killing army, and we are giants. So, real quick, he might lose some because of that weird formation. I'm not gonna lie. That I don't particularly agree with that formation. I'm gonna go look at that one as soon as this is done real quick. So what he's doing here is he's pinging this to find out what's here, and he's able to find out that we have shamans. Now the good news is that this might be a shaman province. It doesn't really, it's not a one-to-one relationship, but sometimes you'll see the indies that are actually recruitable there in the same province, and sometimes it'll be different. It's normally different, especially with the thrones. It's definitely different, but with the provinces, we see the shamans, so more than likely it's got these shamans, which are really good mages. They're nature astral, so you can communion them up. So my guy has already gotten a is already a hero. And let's go over heroes real quick. Heroes are a good thing and they're a bad thing. They're a good thing from the fact that you know, or sorry, they give you really good stuff. Like I get hit points for encumbrance. That's a bad one for me. I have an encumbrance problem. This guy's gonna, every time he swings his sword, he's gonna gain 8 encumbrance, and that's a lot of encumbrance because he's got to cast himself up and buff himself up, and then he's going to attack, and his fatigue is gonna go up. And like I said, the higher your fatigue, the more likely you're gonna get critically hit. The more you get critically hit, the more likely that you're gonna take big hits. If you take big hits, even with our regeneration, you'll take afflictions, like I could lose an arm or a head. Because I mean, if they hit you in the head and it's a critical hit, one of the options is you just lose your head and you die. Now, the nice thing is I'm too tall; they can't reach my head. But it's theoretically possible that I lose an arm or something like that. So it is kind of worrisome that I'm getting this encumbrance. But another thing is that it lets you know, Hall of Fame, what people are going. Now, if you see, I now know that Hinam. Baratos has a, I think it's a brass bowl or something like that. A brazen bowl. And that is his expanding, so they went awake. We already know that that they went an awake pretender. Which is really strong. At least I think so. The brazen bowl isn't, I want to say that's a pretender chassis. I'm almost positive of it. Good news, the barbarians look smaller. But we're still going to go after these heavy infantry and these slingers. It's probably going to cost my Amana Jaku his life. Oh no, elephants. Okay, so I'm worried about this one because it's got elephants. See, I'm learning. Okay, so back here, I have made a new, Koichi is my new, hey, we're going to have him for a while. Sorry, spoiler. And he's not an air random. We're kind of sad. This guy's not an air random either. The good news is that they can both make a hammers, dwarven hammers. Earth 3 is very important for construction 2. If you don't have Earth 3, you need to wait until construction 4 to make yourself Earth boots. So Earth 3 is actually a very good path to have. So what I'm going to do is, oh boy, hold on, let me do this here, push Y. I'm going to have these guys go forward. Hopefully they'll run into the elephants, and if they don't, hopefully this group of guys will end up surrounding the elephants. I'm actually okay with these big guys being intermixed because, as you can see, I'm already at 1 squad, and these guys, their morale sucks already. So, like, if I went and made another squad with them, which I guess I could have done, I'm losing even more morale, and so it's -3 morale rather than -2 morale. So, I'm guessing that this is enough to be able to soak the hits from the elephants. But we'll find out. It would be very nice to keep these elephants around. They're very good for expansion, and I find I'm very lucky with them. Now, Koichi is actually going to go on his own and try to take out this lion tribe. How's my research? So, I talked about this earlier. I think it turned 2 turns ago. I'm going for Conjuration 3. And then I'm aiming for Construction 3. And what's that Construction 3? It is Legions of Steel. Legions of Steel is a very, very important spell for us. It will give us +2 defense and protection per piece of armor we have. So this guy, he only has armor, which kind of stinks. So that'll bring the protection boosted up to 20, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you got to remember every single hit gets that +2 to my dice. It's like giving yourself a +2 to your dice roll. You know, if you're playing D&D or, you know, BattleTech or some game that you really enjoy and you get a +2 to your dice, you want that +2. And that's what Legions of Steel does. It gives you a +2 to your dice roll. When somebody's attacking you, every single person that attacks you, you get a +2. It's ridiculous to not take that. So I'm going there diplomatically. Once again, we're at war with Alm. He's cut off the income from these two places. And another bad thing is that's his buddy. We're in big trouble at this point because it was bad enough that that Alm is here. But if you look at it, Arcosafali is here, Alm is here, and they both have easy access to my buddy. This could be a really short game, guys. I talked to my partner, and he said it's no problem. I have this, but if you can, send somebody down. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to take these two provinces, and then I'm going to take. I'm also kind of hesitant. I don't think I realized Arco was there. I'm gonna take these guys down, and then I'm gonna whip down this road with this army because they don't have any other place to go. So I'm gonna take that big old army and head down south. In addition, we're kind of hoping that we do something well, or that we try our best in, or sorry, not try our best, that we do our best in wiping out this army. If we wipe out this army, then we can march on Ulm, and this force right here can go march on Ulm. Now, we've also come across Lanka. And at this point, we're saying to Lanka, hey, we want this border right, I want to say this was the border that we asked him for, and we don't tell them where we are. And he seems to think that our capital is here, because then at least I assume, I don't know, but we're kind of implying that our capitals are farther forward than where they actually are. And as a result, Lanka ends up giving us pretty good borders. They also don't know that we're at war with Ulm, because Ulm has gone into like pretty much a blackout. They haven't talked to anybody. And not only that, but we really think that this is Ulm's capital, and here's Lanka. So right now, there's going to be, in fact, this has to be his capital at this point. We know for sure that this is his capital. Unless it's here, maybe? I thought we saw this province. I don't know. It could be here, it could be here. But if it's here, Lanka has just went into his cap circle. And that means there's probably, you know, problems between the two of them as well. So we're hoping to not tell Lanka that we're at war because we want to take the territory. We're hoping that this we're kind of hoping that we can take all of Ulm and all of Arcosafali, but remember, it's not a very good matchup. And we're gonna go into. I'm actually gonna cut it off at that point. So where we are right now, Lanka has signed or they haven't signed a NAP, but we've come to agreement that we're not going to kill each other. Ulm is kind of in trouble. A lot of their territory that was, in fact, I didn't even realize it was this bad. Ulm is kind of in a bit of trouble because their expansion options are now done, and they've gone to war with a big faction, with a giant faction, and they're kind of all inning at this point. Arcosafali, in addition, is kind of getting dragged into this war because Arco is definitely somewhere in this rear area back here. Oh, sorry, where's my pen? Arco's got to be here. Or maybe here. I don't think so, though. And so he's expanding towards Ulm rather than, you know, somewhere else. And because of that, he's actually hedging Ulm in as well. And so Ulm is in a diplomatic position where he has to go to war. And whenever you're in that position, it's I mean, it can be good, but more than likely it's not going to be good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope that you guys get to anticipate what's going to happen in the giant war between us and Ulm. And good luck to my partner because he's going to need it. So I hope you guys have a good one.